We are in New Hampshire today, back in my domain, and out for a walk. Figured you might want to come along with me, enjoy this beautiful fall day, and see what's going on. We are walking on a road, clearly. It's part of conservation land. This is actually Camp Bell. It's a Boy Scout camp connected with Hidden Valley, and where I, as a little kid, would do my Cub Scout camping back in the day. And this is right on Manning Lake, where we spent summers as well growing up. So you could kind of say that we've come back to my home territory. And about 10 years ago, I lived literally I think it was a 7-minute drive across the dirt roads. And I'd come here, and this would be one of my running spots. So what we're going to do, at least my plan is, we're going to hike over to some of the old Boy Scout camps, if you will. And but more importantly, we're going to look at the water and just enjoy this fall day. As we get closer to our turnoff, if you will, I have so many memories being here right now from my adult years and my little kid years. And it's interesting because as I see the Camp Bell sign right here, and you'll catch it right on our left, I remember when we were like 7 years old. I think we were 7, yeah. And we decided to do a camping trip, a overnight camping trip. And we went this way, which, by the way, did not look like this at this time. We basically were trailblazing through that way up to a mountaintop where we spent the night in a makeshift shelter that we had made. Now, still at that time, this, if I remember right, wasn't even here. And I say that because I remember there was a church here, and I don't think it was a monastery. I think it was just a church. But where we're gonna walk across momentarily, I remember where the church would be, because in the morning at our cottage, on Sunday mornings especially, you'd hear the ringing of the bells. And then it wasn't until several years later when the church burned down. And after the church burned down, the land was sold. And there was this huge deal because at the time, the residents in Gilmanton, where we are, and those around Manning Lake were concerned that some big-time Massachusetts condominium developers were going to buy up all this land right here and make this scenic spot no longer a scenic spot. But instead, actually, so we're going that way, but let me show you the water right here. But instead, the church gave the land to the scouts, or let them buy it. And instead, all these trails and everything turned into a park. And look how beautiful this is. And it doesn't matter the time of year. This is just a great spot to come to. Here, we'll get on this part of the bridge too, so you get the other vantage point. Now, I used to run out here. Isn't that beautiful? Well worth the drive, if you ask me. Well worth the drive. So I used to run back here, these dirt roads. How are we going to do this? We're going to get back on the field route. It's the more scenic route. You deserve that. Yes, you do. All right, we're back on the path. Remember in 2001 coming here and seeing what remained, or I guess what remained of the church, which was nothing at the time. And then magically it felt like overnight, but I had been gone for a few years. And then the field was cleared. These were put up. Maybe they were up then, I don't remember. These are the cabins for the staff at the Boy Scout camp. And this always gets me here. I'll show you the sign. Because I actually had a running joke with one of my students. This was about 10 years ago. Actually more than that, 11 years ago. But, see, it says, "You are in bear country. Garbage kills bears. Never feed bears. Store food properly. Separate your cooking eating areas from your sleeping areas." You know, all that fun stuff. Anyway, I always thought it was kind of funny. Because all those years being here in the summer months, never saw a bear. I still have never seen a bear out in the wild. I know they exist. I remember I was watching the Northwoods Law Show. It's a good show, by the way. A lot of the episodes take place in this part of New Hampshire, but it was funny because this woman thought they were so cute, the mama bear and her cubs, and she kept feeding them, and the game warden had to go over to her house, warned her, and then gave her a citation. Yeah, so I learned my lesson. Jeez. It's kind of cool, huh? Just a pretty quiet spot. And I will say this, I'll be the first to tell you, not that this should be a shocker for anyone that's watched this channel before. No, I do not come here during the summer. I remember being a kid on the other side of the lake, and my brother and I on the weekends, we'd always get so worked up if we saw any of the campers. It was like we were waiting for them to leave, so the lake would be returned to their rightful, to the rightful folks, right? Yeah. Spoiled? Maybe. Quite a bit, probably. Now, before the use of segways became popular, people would just walk out this way. And then I guess they decided as one of their activities they had to do segways for the kids, because God forbid they would use a bicycle. But like directly ahead where it's more worn, that's for the segways. We'll just take the path of least resistance. See, they'd come down here, cut right across. If I had a bike, I'd go that way. Why not, right? This area has, I've used this area quite a bit in my books. For people that have read any of my books in the past or currently, my Lusa series, like for Riley, the second book in the series, it actually takes place in the beginning in this part. They end up coming across the lake. And then in A Second Chance, a different book, I have a character, Miss Hannah, who grew up on the lake, and then she meets her potential love interest actually out here on this very spot where we're walking. I'll show you it. I'll show you where they have their first meaningful conversation. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Wow. I've never seen the water this high. So I guess thank you, rain. I wonder if the beavers have, like, claimed part of it. So when I lived in the area 10, 11 years ago, I come out here every single weekend. This was my spot. And It's like a place of solitude. Oh, there's a huge beaver dam. Oh, sorry, not a beaver dam, but a beaver house. We'll go out to it. Oh my God, that is monstrous. Anyway, let me tell you the story first before we go investigate the beavers. Wait, are we in Narnia? The fast forward to like 5 years ago, and I had resettled in this area, and I still would walk out here on the weekends. And then one weekend I got chased by some dogs out here because some of the owners, they feel like they can bring their dogs here and it's a free rein area. And we'll just say, short version, I got chased, I fell into the water, trashed my phone. It was not a good situation. It probably would have been better had I not gotten bitten like a week and a half before. Not here, but in a different spot. Okay, how do we get to this? Holy crap. The beavers have been busy this year. I don't know if you can see through the woods or not right here, but this thing is mammoth. It's right there. It's right there. I'll get us a better view, I promise. God, it's like a frickin' construction crew. Well, okay, I got us the better view. Holy crap. All right, we're out on the lake. Look at this. Look at that. That is... Have you ever seen a beaver house that big? I wonder how big the beaver is that lives there. Holy crap. This is Jonathan Kuiper reporting from Narnia. With the White Witch gone, the beavers are living in harmony and in peace. I would go get a statement from them, but they gave me the paw. All right, yes, I was trying to be a news broadcaster there. Did it work for you guys? Not so much? Wow. What a beautiful day, though. Look at this. Beavers be damned. Look at this. It's beautiful. Well, as we leave the choice real estate behind, let's continue our walk some more. So, back on the trail, of course. So again, you're more than welcome to come out here on your own. Campbell, Gilmanton, New Hampshire. This is not on the tourist path, so this is a local only place. Wow. And you wonder why beavers are a problem. Look at this. Do they pay taxes? No. Something has to be done. I don't know who's going to do it, but something has to be done. Living rent-free on this lake with prime real estate. Ridiculous. So, that dog story where I was being chased, they came out over from up there. And then I, thinking I was all so cool and smart, I ran down this way, down towards the water. And at the time, it actually was a little bit higher. Erosion hadn't been that bad. And anyway, they followed me down this hill right here. And the next thing I know, I'm up to my neck in the water. And then the lady came by, and she's like, "They don't bite, they're friendly." I'm like, yeah, and how would I know that? By the way, there was like 3 of them. And they weren't like... It wasn't like I was being chased by 3 golden retrievers. Wow, it's beautiful today. That beaver, that beaver hut is like, wow. Now I really do wish I was back in Narnia. Well, yeah, back. I wish I was in Narnia. Back would have been a whole different story. I'd be getting questions then. It's interesting. Every year this feels more narrow. Oh, that sucks. It broke. I used to climb out on some of the branches here. Like on some of these for the trees, you just climb out a little bit, hang out there, and take a look. Oh, crap. So this is the hardest part about being a local in spirit, if you will, is every time passes and then you come back to a place, and then when things have been cut down or something's changed, I don't know about you, but it just kind of like tears at me. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a moment. So this is the boat area right here. People come down, picnic tables, the beach. Here, we'll go down here. I had many website covers and book covers that were in relation to this fence right here, and they would look out onto beautiful Manning Lake. In my book reference I was telling you about a little while ago, wait, before I tell you, so directly across the way, directly where I'm facing, that's where our place was, and we would swim across the lake just for fun. But anyway, this spot right here, this is where the character of Hannah in my book A Second Chance, this is where she meets up with her future love interest. It really is a sweet story. It's a little bit heavy because it's about domestic violence and stuff like that, but it's a love story and everything works out in the end. In Riley, book 2 of the Lose This series, the characters are using a canoe or a boat. I don't even remember at this point, but they're coming across the lake right here, and then they have to set in on that side, and then they make their way right across this beach area as well. So it's a cool spot. Fiction and non-fiction. Now, as you walk away from the beach, you get Camp Bell at its finest, I guess. Go that way to Hidden Valley. We're going to go to the left, though. And what it looks like to me is these are new, maybe they're showers or bathrooms. I don't know. I remember being a kid. By the way, these weren't always here. I do remember that. But I remember being a kid and coming across the lake with my sisters. And then we came over here to, like, explore. Uh-oh. Do you want to open one of the doors? We'll see if one of the bears are in here. Please don't be a bear. Please don't be a bear. Oh. Boring. It's a changing area. I was going to say, I was like, this has quite the view to go to the bathroom. You know, back in my day, we didn't have that. They would just say, throw a towel on yourself and change. Slackers. How many people know that's true? Of course it's true. Although maybe it's different now because the Boy Scouts, they allow girls. So maybe they have to do that. I don't know. The 80s were just a different time. And many people who grew up in the 80s will tell you they wish we could go back. Unless the ones that had problems, and then they'll say they don't ever want to go back. But anyway, I remember coming up here with my older sisters. Might have just been one sister out of the group. I think it was. And we came up here to explore. And at the time, there actually were some campsites here. Now, these are campsites. Here's your bathrooms. Uh-oh. See a lot of acorns. A lot of acorns means it's going to be a big winter. But here you go. So, this isn't roughing it. Give me a break. You have a cover here. You can sleep on some wood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like a prison barracks, doesn't it? Yeah, some of this looks new. Definitely looks new. This is where I cue my Boy Scout joke and I say something like, well, at least they saved on labor. Do you get that? Maybe. Some of you probably. All right. Okay, it's a log. For a second, I thought that was a bear's head. I was like, this is going to be a problem. So as I said, I've never run into a bear here. But when I used to work in Virginia, in Front Royal, there were several times where I had run-ins with bears while running, or even just walking outside of my door. Wow, that's cool. Some beautiful rocks up there. I don't think I can give them justice, but if I was like 10 years old, I'd be all over climbing up there. Huh. But I'm not 10 years old, so that won't happen today. But if I was going to go play hide and go seek, those rocks is where I would definitely go. So how many people have been... Well, actually, here's a question for the viewers. How many people were in Scouts? Whether it's Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, the Pioneer Scouts, whatever Scouts. And how many people ever went off to a camp for the summer? Into an overnight camp. How many... I mean, I was a day camper. We lived too close to sleep overnight. Another question for my viewers, if you've gotten this far in the video, I have a very serious question for you. I need your help. I'm planning my future travels for my vacations coming up. So I have going back to Ireland in November, and then I'm going to Jersey. It's an island off the coast of Normandy, France, for Christmas. And then in February, drum roll please, I have tickets to go to Poland. And then the question is, as an April vacation, do I go back to Poland a second time then in the new year? Or do I go to Malta? Or where? Lithuania? What do you guys think? What should I do? I need your help. So you tell me, put it in the comments or send me a personal message. I would love to know, where should I go when I'm actually on school vacation? Because clearly my traveling that I got to do when I was in Poland, when I was living there, is completely different here. Because one, I have to drive everywhere, which is a giant pain in the, in my six. And it costs more. So I'm curious. What does everyone think? I really want to go to Malta, if I'm being totally honest. I want to go back. Like the places I listed are all places I want to go back to. And even though I'm going to be in Poland in February, I was like, I could go back in April. Could be there for Easter. Last year for Easter, I went to Košice, Slovakia. But there's always options. Well, all right, we've circled back around on that short walk. I mean, there's more to see, obviously, but I think it's good enough for today. I'm going to tell you, I actually had a pretty cool memory. So where that car is parked right there, I used to park in that same spot after school, and I'd come here and run. And there was a massive thunderstorm that I was trapped in, and I had to wait as the front moved across. And I've never been in such a big storm. And I wish I had footage of it so I could show you, but I don't. But it's a profound memory for me, because I remember after it finally let up, I was like, well, I could drive home. And I was like, no, I'll go run for an hour. So that's exactly what I did. But, yeah, good memories, good times. you need to ever regroup, this is a cool spot to go to. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the walk, this little adventure, this excursion, if you will. And all I'll say is till next time, guys. All right, peace. Oh, and don't go that way unless you have something with you, like maybe a canteen for more than one person. Like, let's say if you have a group of 4, don't share one canteen for a whole day's trip. Yes, that might have happened.